Ah, yes indeed, folks. The Sounds of Dragon Force there with Starfire. That one out to all the druids. That includes the whining druids that we've got in the channel. Yeah, what did we do to deserve this music? Stick pencils in your ears, like, really far. Just stick 2 pencils, sharp end first, in your ears. Get a hammer. Bang, bang, bang. Just tap it in. Gently, just tap it in. Just ignore the tingling sensation, and all your problems will be solved. Fantastic. Anyway, you are listening to WoW Radio here with Total Biscuit with Blue Please, the show where we don't really know what we're doing. The show where we refer to ourselves as we. The crazy Brit that has no idea what he's doing on the radio whatsoever. Anyway, get back to the issues. I had a big list of stuff here, a lot of suggestions that were made on the forums. But first, I just got to address something quickly now. As you know, we've already got our own thread here on the World of Warcraft forum. Feel free to bump that, keep it up there, keep people tuning in. We're getting a good response here, and that's always cool. We are here for the community. We pay out of our own pocket to keep you guys entertained, so like it or die. Amarbiel asks, is the Cafe Press WoW stuff legal? Yeah, basically because it doesn't say the words Blizzard or World of Warcraft on it. Trademarks, folks, trademarks. I happen to run that particular store, and simply under trademark law, yeah, it is legal. If you've ever seen t-shirt stores, you'll see all sorts of stuff. Lampoons of Star Wars, Star Trek, all that kind of thing. Slogans on t-shirts. It's all legal. It's all perfectly legal. You can't copyright an idea. You can copyright a name, an identity, but not an idea. Right, enough of that. Let's get on with the issues. I got a big load of suggestions here. Here's one. Found this thread. Varco. This guy called Varco, level 60 Undead Warrior. Why he's level 60 actually said that, I don't know. But, blue. As you do, puts blue there. The entire inspiration for this show. Blue, please. People put blue in the titles of their threads, thinking, it's the magical summoning spell. I will summon the demon lord for the netherworld. No, not going to happen, I'm afraid. In fact, it's probably less likely that a blue is actually going to have a look at your thread if you put blue in the title, especially if you put blue, please. Retarded fucking sentence that it is. Than simply posting a normal thread title. No, attention whores die. He says this. I am now on my 5th character. I paid my dues by running around until level 40 and then some until I got my 90 gold. Why can we not have level 20 mounts? I would easily pay 30 gold plus the riding skill fee, which you would need anyway. To not have to run around like an imbecile for 20 more levels. This would still force players going through the first time to earn their way to a mount, but why force those of us who have already suffered through the pain of not having a mount go through that every time you start a new character? Even if it ran at a 30% increase, it would severely raise the replay value of this game anymore. Interesting you say that, the whole 30% thing. You do realise, of course, that other than, let's see, warriors don't have any. What's the other class that doesn't have a travel form? Pallies. Pallies don't have any, but they get a free mount anyway, so... Most classes, priests don't have any, okay. Most classes have a travel form. Sharon have got the Ghost Wolf, it's 40% run, and that cool dance. Saw a little conga line of dancing wolves outside the auction house in Daggerspine, Europe. That made my day, it really did. Put a little warmth into my cold, cold heart. Anyway, they've got that. Mages obviously have teleport and blink. Druids have got their travel form. Hunters have aspect of the cheetah. Warlocks have the summoning thing. Plus, they can obviously get a free mount, as can Pallies. And this guy's asking for level 20 mounts. No. The idea, if you notice the way that these areas are structured, yeah, your level 10, your level 20, your level 30 areas, there's not that much running about, really, relative to running around the Badlands, for instance, legging it round there. There isn't that much running. Even the Barrens. The thing about the Barrens is they've spaced the quests out quite nicely. You don't have to go that far to find your quest. There's a couple of outposts there. You've got, obviously, the Crossroads, and you've got Camp Taraja down south. So it's not that bad, really. I don't see why he's asking for a level 20 mount. I think the idea of people pouncing around on horses all the time defeats the point of a mount being a stat system. I mean, if you read the manual, it says exceptionally powerful and rich players may ride horses. That's cool. But you're not an exceptionally rich or powerful player, I'm afraid. No, you're not an exceptionally rich or powerful player if you're level 20. Doesn't happen. Now, Kawhi says that rogues have a 50-second sprint every 5 minutes. Yeah, but That's still 15 seconds, 50% speed. That's pretty cool. That's a start. Hunters obviously get the 30% run speed, and they get aspect of the pack at level 40. I think, to be honest, you need to make friends with a hunter. Love the hunters, folks, because aspect of the pack for lower levels is great. You get level 40 to run around with you, aspect of the pack. There you go. All your travel problems solved in an instant. Fantastic. Charge doesn't count. Stabzilla was making the comment that charge doesn't count as a travel mode. No, it doesn't. How can it possibly count as a travel mode? If you had a travel... For a travel mode to be a travel mode, it's out of combat. Simple as that. It's out of combat. Charge doesn't count, so no. If you want to get in on this, obviously you're sort of hearing sort of a half a conversation here. I'm referring to what's being said in the chat channel. WoW Radio, we've got 43 crazy people in there. Well, 42, I suppose, if you don't count the bots. But get over there. www.wcradio.com. Click IRC button at the top of the screen. You will find the chat room option right there. Now, Havoc says, hunters should get a free mount. They are the pet class. What, they're going to ride? A chicken? Yeah, they're the pet class. But that's the idea, they get a pet. That doesn't mean they can ride it. That would just be ridiculous. You know, ride your little rock around. You know, your little wind serpent. Not going to happen, I'm afraid. The idea is they get a free pet, you get a free helper. That's just the way the actual class works. It's that simple. You're not going to get to ride that around. No. I'd like to ride around a little battle chicken. That would be fun. Engineer mount. Fantastic. But we're getting off topic. Anyway, it's a silly idea in my opinion. The fact is, if you're not enjoying the game in the way that you're finding running around to be too annoying, then really this probably isn't for you. The idea of massively multiplayer is that it's large. If you get everywhere within 30 seconds, that would defeat the entire point. Take, for example, other RPGs, or just a single-player RPG. You don't have to run around all that much in that, because it's a linear storyline. You progress from point A to point B to point C to point D. Sometimes you'll detour at point EFG, but in reality you're following a set path. You go at one place to another, and you don't necessarily have to go back. World of Warcraft isn't like that. That's the way MMOs work. You go backwards and forwards to different areas. You go all the way around the world. It's a large world. It's not even that large in comparison to some other worlds, but it's a large world nonetheless. If it's really bothering you, if it really is bothering you, there are a variety of things you can do to speed yourself up, to run around slightly faster. Things with speed. You can get an enchantment on your boots that'll let you run slightly faster. Get a friend. Aspect of the pack. Got to be done. Aspect of the pack is fantastic. Hunter friend, definitely the way to go. Goblin rocket boots, which in my opinion needs sorting out. Goblin rocket boots let you run at, I think it's about 70 or 80% speed for about 20 seconds. That's quite cool. However, they explode at the most irritating times. I remember back, I'm an engineer, and I was trying to get away. I had my rocket boots on. I was like, right, haha, you're screwed. Ran off. Bang. 2 seconds, bang. All on the floor. Just wriggling around on the floor in complete total mess. My remains of my boots blasted halfway across the barrens. And this guy just laughing at me. He's like, no, sorry. That's just not too good. On the other hand, gnomish rocket boots, they give you less of a speed increase. They give you less of a speed increase, but they don't explode. Always helpful. Also got a 30-minute cooldown. That might need to be sorted. Yeah. I say, Cryzo made an interesting point. Aspect of the noob is what it's called. There are problems with aspect of the pack. The thing about aspect of the pack is it gives everyone aspect of the cheetah within a certain range, obviously if they're in your group. You get hit. You all get stunned. Ow. Not good. Not good at all. But it's worthwhile. And it's great if you're in a guild, you can get a level 40 in there, right there. Just group with a level 40 hunter. Easy. That's the way to go. Helpful tips from Blue Please here on World of Warcraft Radio. Right, we want your input. Quite frankly, you're all sitting there listening. I demand you stop listening to my radio show immediately and start participating. We want your input. Come over to the chat room, www.wcradio.com. Click on IRC right up there, and you'll get yourself in the chat room. Talk with us. J-Pot saying the gnomish rocket boots kind of suck. They fail way more often than not. Yeah, but they don't explode in your face, do they? That's a daze, plus you get to use it again. I don't. I blow up my rocket boots like, great, I've got a pair of charred, broken black Meijui boots left, and if I'm lucky, one of the iron struts, and I've got to rebuild the damn thing. You lose the blanking rocket fuel. Oh, it's not pleasant. Flathy also points out there are other ways. There are other ways of speeding yourself up. I believe there's potions to do it. There are, in fact. There's a swiftness potion. Swift boots, 40% for 15 seconds, and they don't explode. Yep, very good point. There are many, many ways of speeding yourself up. Many ways. Why is this music so loud? Hang on a second. Don't know what it is about that. For some reason, one of my music starts way, way too loud. I'm not entirely sure why, but anyway. We'll have to live with it, folks. This is World of Warcraft Radio. You're listening to Blue Please. I've almost managed to fill an hour with complete and total drivel. Be impressed, man. Be impressed. I've gone through the honor system. We've gone through the idea of having to run around this level 20 mount thing. If you want to check out any of these threads, I will post them for you into the chat channel. So there's another reason to be there. I'll post the thread into the channel. There we go. I'll post the level 21 if you want to go and comment on it. Now, I've got a big list of other threads here I want to deal with. Which class whines the most? Yeah, which class whines the most? Let's see what this thread has to offer. This, obviously, bearing in mind the World of Warcraft forums are a very unpleasant place to be. This could be quite unpleasant. Oh god, the 7 pages of this. I'll post this in the forum for you as well. Here we go. Right. Abida starts this thread, level 21 Troll Hunter, ironically enough. My vote goes to Hunters. The class rocks. It's by far the best solo leveler. It's in the top 3 of the DPS class. It's average in PvP, and the mass majority of our abilities work as stated with few bugs. Yet Hunters complain like nothing I've ever seen. Complain about stupid things too high. Having to feed our pets or buy ammunition. I mean, it really doesn't cost that much. Every class has the set of whiners. Which class do you think has the loudest? Now, Hunters. Interesting class. Overplayed. I know when we started our guild, I thought, oh, Hunter, that sounds good. Unfortunately, half the guild had thought, oh, Hunter, that sounds good. So we've now got a load of guys running around with their poncy little pets and bows and arrows and stuff. But the thing about Hunters is, I think one of the big problems with Hunters, and I think many Hunters will agree, is high-level instances. And Hunters know that some of their stats come from their pets. Yeah, they're affected by that. It's not like a Warlock. It's not, you don't just have your little pet there to take damage for you. You share stats with a pet. You lose your pet, you lose some stats as well. That's not good. But the thing about high-level instances is you're fighting, what, level 60, 62, 61, 62 elite mobs. And your pet dies in seconds. It gets totally slaughtered. Seriously. That's one of the big problems with it, I think. They need to sort that out for high-level instances. Because without that, what's the Hunter, really? Range damage class. Yeah, but a lot of his damage comes from the pet. And the fact is, you get your tank. That is the tank. I don't know. That's what needs to be sorted on Hunters, I believe. But then again, there could also be classes an easy class to play. You take your pet, throw it towards any enemy. I know if I get PvP by a Hunter, it's amazing how many of them just stand there, send their pet in. Yeah, so I think, right, crap, pet, okay, Frost Nova, or blink out of the way, or poly it. And the Hunter at the back's just standing there, like blinking Legolas from Lord of the Rings, bouncing up and down. Sort of kitten arrows there, but yeah, that's the sound of the arrow, honest. Or the sound of the gun. Do I even have the sound of the gun on my sound bank? Probably not, but the sound of the gun. That's not really the gun, is it? Or that. There, the sound of the gun. You've now got a glass gun, folks. The sound of the gun. And all they'll do is they'll stand there and they'll bounce up and down, firing arrows at it. It's like, well, that's interesting, because if you bound all your attacks to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now, you could just stand there, bouncing up and down, just press 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 9 again and again and win. That's a bit crap. It's a bit ridiculous. Oh well. Yeah, Havoc. I am aware that it sounded nothing like a gun. I don't have a gun sound here. I'm sure I do somewhere, to be honest. No, that's not it either. No. Okay, let's give up on the gun sound for the time being. And we're on to a completely different subject. Wouldn't it be fantastic Wouldn't it be fantastic to fire murlocs out of a cannon? A murloc cannon. There you go. Fantastic. Something to think about. This is World of Warcraft Radio. You are listening to Blue Please. And I'm going to find a little bit of music for you to listen to because I've been babbling on for far, far, far too long for the moment. I'm going to find you something to listen to. If you do actually have any specific requests, then you can send them my way. Now, after this, we're going to introduce another feature. I think it's probably going to be Rap in the Forums. Hopefully you'll find this amusing. But in the meantime, I'm going to play something for all of those instance players that have got into a random group and had their epic item rolled on, their epic two-handed mace rolled on by a rogue, and he's run off shouting "lol noobs." It's Machine Eye Supremacy, folks, a Swedish band, and this track is called Ninja. You listen to World of Warcraft Radio. This is Blue Please with Total Biscuit. Enjoy.